Don Henley threw a benefit concert on April 25th, 1990 for Walden Woods, Henry David Thoreau's center of nature, of the conservationist movement, really. Thoreau was the first, the one that raised America's consciousness. Not quite enough. Anyhow, Henley was turned off by developers wanting to buy up the land around Walden Pond, and so he helped create a foundation to buy it all up, and threw a concert with Bonnie Raitt and 3/5 of the Eagles. It was the first time that many Eagles had played together in a long time. And besides helping to save Walden Pond, it got the Eagles back together for the Hell Freezes Over tour a couple years later. So, you do good things and good things come.
Chances are they'll sound something like what we heard at the Centrum in Worcester, Massachusetts on Wednesday night, when ex-Eagles Don Henley, Glenn Frey, and Timothy Schmidt joined forces with their old pal Bob Seger and Bonnie Raitt and Jimmy Buffett and Arlo Guthrie, among others, to play the second of two benefit shows to help raise money to buy and preserve a part of nearby Walden Woods, not far from Thoreau's famed Walden Pond, and protect it from encroaching real estate developers. Here's a look at the issue and, of course, the show itself.
Henry David Thoreau, for all practical purposes, is the father of the modern environmental movement, and Walden Woods is the cradle of the environmental movement. So we can't really go down to Brazil in good conscience and tell them what to do with their rainforest when we can't even save the symbol of our own conservation movement.
And here it is, Walden Pond. In his book, Walden, Thoreau pointed out that heaven is under our feet as well as over our heads, and pretty much began an ongoing discussion about man's need to respect the environment. That was in 1854. Now, 136 years later, real estate developers want to build condominiums in the woods near Walden Pond, and in response, Don Henley brought together a coalition of musicians and actors to play two benefit concerts for Walden Woods, shows that also reunited Henley with his old Eagles partners Glenn Frey and Timothy B. Schmidt. The money they helped raise will be used to launch a fundraising drive to buy the endangered Walden Woods land and preserve it in its current pristine condition. Walden is a special place for Bonnie Raitt. California native, she spent a lot of time around the Walden area while attending college in nearby Cambridge in the 60s. She says her current involvement in environmental protection is more than just a momentary commitment.
We're not just coming here as outsiders saying, clean up your own backyard. We're going to be, as my friend Don Henley wrote in a song, not going quietly, not going at all from any of the places that are being threatened with further rape.
For some attendees, the chance to see three former Eagles reunited was almost as big a draw as the environmental agenda. Henley, Frey, and Schmidt haven't performed together since the Eagles broke up in 1981. All signs currently seem to point to an actual reunion, but nobody is saying for sure.
Well, as a whole, I don't know. All I can tell you is that Glenn Frey and I have been working on some new material. We started before I left for this tour. And when I get home in June, we're going to continue to work on new material and do some recording.
Well, we're talking, and people are talking now. There's logistical problems, and there's a few things that have to be ironed out. It's looking better. I can't say that it's 100% happening, because it's not.
The Eagles are contractually obligated to release a greatest hits album this year, regardless of reunion plans, and that record will contain new songs recorded by Henley, Schmidt, and Frey. But this week, for Don Henley at least, the main concern was preserving the woods around an American literary landmark, the Walden Pond of Henry David Thoreau.
The man was heavy, you know. I mean, he influenced a lot of great people and deserves some respect, you know. And that's what we're trying to get him here, a little respect.
The Eagles, of course, were early benefit boosters, particularly on the anti-nuclear front, and Don Henley has continued that activist tradition on his own. 3 weeks ago, for instance, he joined Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young to play a benefit show in Los Angeles for that group's former drummer, Dallas Taylor, whose troubles with alcohol had put him in urgent need of a new liver. Well, the benefit raised $125,000 to cover Taylor's medical expenses, And last week, a donor came through with the new liver he needed. It was successfully transplanted at Cedars-Sinai Medical Center in L.A. A doctor there says he's out of intensive care and is showing improvement by the hour. And if all goes well, he should be out and about in another week or so. We wish him all the best. We'll leave you now with some more music from the
Cleveland Live Music. It's awfully bright out here. I'd click on another one of my videos. Quit looking into the sun. Your mother told you not to do that. Please hit the subscribe button. And if you want to support the channel more, there's GoFundMe and Patreon information in the video descriptions. Ooh, ooh!